Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Planet Stefania. It's great to have you here, and this time I'm very excited to be sharing with you all my deep dive and zoom in of the aquatic feature focus that we just had this week for Planet Zoo 2. So let's dive in. Here we start with the first frame over here, and I have to say it, like, it looks beautiful. Also the background. I think this is something that most of us, we tend to look at the center at first, but then when you look at the video multiple times, you start to notice this background and the lighting and everything. I do think that this might be an island. I am crossing my fingers that we will have the island generator from Jurassic World Evolution 3. That would be super amazing, really. And of course, the star of the show is the aquarium that we have here in the middle. Let's zoom in. First of all, I like to zoom in on this because, wow. I mean, just look at the corals. I know that usually the first thing that we tend to see are the animals, but I do also think that the corals deserve a spotlight here. They look beautiful. The brain coral. We have this coral over here. Oops, a little bit too fast over here. We see this coral variation. I mean, I think the corals are an amazing element of the aquariums that the team really got right. And they also, if you see on the video, most of them have movement and you can actually feel like they are alive. So I think kudos to the team for also implementing the corals this way. Also the way the light is reflected. Just look at this, the light is being reflected in a very realistic way that I absolutely love. Also, we see the rays swimming over here. Let me put this in slow motion, playback speed. So you can see the swimming animations. Yeah, you can see the swimming animations. I mean, they look lovely. We can see the ocean sunfish over here. And here we see, I think this is the humphead wrasse, if I remember correctly. And then we see the corals. We see the brain coral, which I'm a fan of. And then we go here. I mean, who didn't think that this was an actual aquarium? It looks amazing. And the lighting over here on the floor, let's zoom in and we can see the lighting being reflected here on the floor. And also we have something over here that looks like a roof over the aquarium, and that is beautiful. I mean, if that is procedurally generated, like the netting on the aviaries, that is brilliant. And that is also affecting the lighting over here. It's so nice. We also see some different aquarium. I think these are windows. I love that we have circular ones like these. We also have, I think this one is straight or bending inwards, and this is bending outwards. And we also have these pipes with water and bubbles. You can see the bubbles actually flowing up and down and maybe this will be part of the filtration system. I'm not really sure if they will be decorative, but either way they look lovely. We also see some of the signs. This is for the humphead wrasse, I think. Beautiful. We also have the ray over here, the spotted eagle ray. And then inside here we see a confirmation that I think these are the vista points that we can place over here. And we see a confirmation of the underwater tunnels, which we will see in just a moment. But look at this. I mean, this is beautiful. So let's continue. Let's keep swimming. La la la. Okay, and then we see our little shark. Okay, yeah, I know that it's a contradiction, but our little cute shark. We see our shoals of fish, new species that we got. I think this one is a new one that we got in the Zoopedia. Here we have, of course, we can't not name our little Dory. And we see a shoal of Dories of the surgeonfish in just a moment. Beautiful. We also see the shark. I think they've done an amazing job again on the eyes. I will always highlight that. Okay, so let's continue. Also, before we move on, in an article that the team shared officially on the Planet Zoo 2 website, you can also find it on my channel. I'm going to be sharing a video reading that article. We have confirmation that aquatic animals will be eating from the underwater foliage or the underwater plants. So that is awesome. Here we can see some of that, and I think this would be a food source for the aquatic animals in that aquarium. Just to let you know, because I think this is a really awesome feature. Then we also see some larger shoals of fish. I think we haven't seen such a dense shoal of fish as this one yet. And I love how the guests just stare at the fish over there in the underwater tunnel. Really beautiful. Then we see, of course, feature focus, awesome aquatics. I love the animations over here. And I still have it in slow motion, okay? So we can check out all the details. Then we go here, and then we can see how we're going to actually create the aquariums. Like here we have a curved barrier, and it's basically very similar to building a habitat, like with the built-in barriers. And I may be recording some short videos on these specific tools. I don't want to make this video like very long, too long, but we can see some of the tools for building aquariums. We have curves, we have straight lines, we can customize the aquarium, like the barrier, if they have windows or not, glass windows. We have the underwater tunnel, we have the gates, and we have some sort of roofing as well and supports. I do think, based on these buttons, that maybe the roofing is going to be auto-generated, which would be awesome. But I'm not sure, of course. This is just speculation so far. Then we see the settings, which are very similar to what we had with the barriers. We have the supports, and we also have the camera mode. Okay, so let's continue. We also see the height over here. This is the height of the wall. We see this over here. They place the barrier, then they place the curved barrier, and then they raise the height. Then you can select part of that barrier, and then you can choose if you want to have no windows, glass window, or one-way glass. And you can also shift the direction of the glass, of the one-way glass. Really awesome. You can also set the window base height, the window top height, and if you want to level window top and bottom. Then we also see the blueprints. This is our first time taking a look at the aquarium blueprints, and actually I think it's the first time we see the actual blueprints like tab opened. Previously it was like covered because they said they were still working on it, so I think this is the first time we're gonna see it. But before that we see sort of like, this is a new element of the UI, of the user interface, where we can actually sort of like restrict the movement to a specific axis, X, Y, Z, X, Y, Y, Z, or X, Z, to move the blueprint or the set of pieces that we're moving in a specific direction. I'm looking forward to seeing how this will work. And here we have the blueprints tab. This is our first look at this tab. We can see this. Maybe I'm going to dive more deeply into this in another video. I want to keep this one concise, as concise as possible, but we can see that we have the option to see more. Maybe this will be, I'm thinking, the Frontier Workshop, where we can find more blueprints. These are maybe the built-in ones. These are maybe the ones that you've built, and all the blueprints. Based on the icons, that's my initial thought. And here we can see a selection of the initial blueprints that we have that can give us an idea of what we can build. I'm sure that there must be something hidden out here that we might need to find some new like reveal or something. And then we see the icons over here. I think they're very standard. Like very similar to what we had in Planet Zoo 1, which is great because I loved the Planet Zoo 1 user interface. Okay, so let's continue. And now we see how we can place the underwater tunnels. They're basically like, you select this option over here, and then you place the tunnel. Customization, you can set the angle snap or height snap. Because based on what we see later, we can also have elevated underwater tunnels, basically like in 2 different levels or heights, which is awesome to add more variety as well. So we just place the entrance over here on the aquarium gate, and then we extend this. We extended, la 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 la, we extended. Okay, and again, I'm thinking that this is such an amazing feature that I want to thank the Planet Zoo team. It makes me very happy to see the underwater tunnels. I mean, they will add such an amazing experience, also in first-person mode. I can't wait to go through the aquariums myself and just seeing the guests and everyone, like all my animals just swimming around. I mean, it will be beautiful, especially with the new lighting. Like this. Like, how can you not love this view? Really amazing, 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 amazing. And then we see the staff. I love that they're also like starting to share more about the management aspect that comes with the aquariums and with the new animals. And here we can see the shoals of the little dories. They are like really nice, really nice, really nice. And we see the staff. I mean, the staff is cleaning the water. I love all the details in the uniform as well. Like you can see like the belts, and you can even see like the texture on the straps and the belt over here, and like the overall the suit, I think this is a helmet, and this is what you call the helmet, but it was like beautiful. And here you can also see that this underwater tunnel has some sort of elevation, because you can see the angle over here. So maybe we will have staircases, I'm thinking, or a ramp, and then we have another level over here. And here we can also see another type of roofing. I'm not sure if this would be like automatically generated or if this was done piece by piece, but it looks like some sort of roofing. And if it is automatically generated, I mean, that would be awesome. And here we see more about the staff. Like, again, I love the outfit. Let's check out the boots. We have the pants. We have the Little Planet Zoo logo. And I love the backpack with the bed icon over here. We see some very interesting aspects of management as well. I may be diving into more detail about this in another video, but here you can have a preview. We have the bed stats, the tasks that you can assign to your staff, recent thoughts, and we see the staff switching outfits to enter the aquarium. I really love this animation, and I do love the entrance gates. I mean, I'm personally a fan of a balance between realism and stylized cartoons, because I love that the game feels like a game. I mean, I don't want everything to be realistic. I want to have some fun. I want to laugh. I want to immerse myself in a different world when I play the game. So for me, having this animation of quickly changing the clothing and everything, like it reminds me that this is a game and that it's fun and that I have to laugh. And I mean, it looks fun and I love it. I'm personally not a fan of hyper-realism. I do love it for the animals, but overall in the game, I like the balance. Then we see the oxygen tanks over here. I mean, what a beauty. Like, all the little details are what make Planet Zoo 2 like the amazing game that it seems to be heading towards. Like, you can even see like the watch over here and the tablet. Then the view over here, the lighting as well, look at how it reflects. And here you can see the keeper. They also said that keepers can also like spawn floating feeders in case you forget to place a feeder in the aquarium, so they can also feed the animals underwater. And that is awesome, I think. It's like similar to terrestrial animals, where if you don't place a feeder, the keeper can actually place the food on the ground. Here we see the feeder itself, and the feeder seems to be quite customizable because we have different color channels over here that we can customize. Really nice. I love the minimalistic UI. It's simple. It's exactly what it should be. It doesn't have any options that might be confusing. I mean, it's very intuitive and easy to read. So I'm happy with the UI so far. We have the move controls as well. And basically just, I wanted to highlight this, that you can customize different things within the object. And again, the corals, the texture, like look at this rock. Like, I mean, this is a rock. We have the little corals over here, the brain coral. We have this coral over here, the colors as well. We also see who the feeder is suitable for. And we see the turtle over here eating the lettuce. I mean, how cute, how cute, how cute, how cute. We can see different like elements of the food that they're given. Like we see the lettuce, we see some oysters, I think that would be. And it's beautiful. Like here we can also see the little turtle babies. I have a cuteness overload at this point when I see the little baby turtles. I mean, I'm gonna see them and stare at them for hours and hours when I have them in my aquariums, really. And it's nice to also see like the turtle resting on the seafloor. It's beautiful. Then we can also see it looking up from the underwater tunnel and the turtles just swimming and passing with the ray. I mean, it's like beautiful. And then we see some enrichment items. I love that we're also going to have enrichment items for the aquatic animals. I think that is super nice. And then we start to see that we can actually like set different styles for the water in the aquariums, like how far we can see within the aquarium, like the lighting, like how misty they are. I think we have different settings coming in just a moment. Here we can see the shark, beautiful shot again, the corals, the view, also the animations. I think they look very, very smooth, at least in my opinion. I do think that they represent the real animals. Again, we see the windows that I love, the circular windows. We see the water system over here. And here we see something specifically related to the management. Like here, we can see that these fish have bad salinity. This is a new element that we're going to have in the management, where we have to control the salinity of the aquariums. So if we don't control it, we will have animals with dangerous salinity, which will affect their welfare. So what are we going to do to solve that? Well, we are going to have these water filtration systems, but they're going to be specific for fresh water, for salt water, and for brackish water. You can set it to the setting that you want for the filtration network, and you see the network demand. Here you can see it over here. Network demand, the current, salt water, and you can change this. You can add a water filter if you need it. And these are the water filters. And you can also connect them like in a network. I love this new addition. I love management, so anything related to management that they add is a good thing for me. Awesome, so let's continue. We also see that the staff can clean the tanks, so we have tank cleanliness. Again, the roofing is just amazing. I can't wait to see if this is actually like procedurally generated. If not, if it was built piece by piece, congratulations to the person who built it. Then we see here the elevated tunnel, I think, because I think we can see like a space. And then here we have our little star, because it is my favorite reveal of this week, the red lionfish. Beautiful. They're bringing it in this box. Now we can see that we have different boxes for different types of animals. For aquatic animals, we will have like this blue with brown color. And we also see something new that is coming, that now the staff members can actually rest on the benches that we place in our zoo, and that is super awesome. I love it that they don't have to go necessarily to the break rooms. They can just sit and rest while they are close to a bench. Okay, so let's continue. I love the sign for the lionfish as well. It looks really nice. I love the corals, and here we can see the little lionfish. I mean, I love it. I think it's so unique, and I never thought it would be like included in Planet Zoo 2, so I'm very happy to see it here. Very, very happy to see it here. Look at it swimming. I can't wait to see it, really. And over here we have the tunnel. This one was empty, the underwater tunnel. So they ask us to decorate a little bit. So we can scale the rocks, we can scale the pieces. Here we can see more of the foliage and the corals. Really nice. Let's see what else we can find. I think in this shot we can only see like the scaling and some of the pieces. And then we have the scenery rating. We have the tags. So we are going to have the tags again. And we can also recolor. We can even recolor the rocks, I think, because we have 3 different color channels over here. So that is awesome. We have recolorable rocks. We also have these lights over here. And we can rotate them, and we can also change the different channels, the color channels of the light. So basically we can also change the color that the light is emitting in the aquarium. Really nice. Towards the corals. And then we also see that we can enable lights. Within the aquariums, apparently, we're going to have automatic lights if we want to have them on. And we can also set the brightness, spacing of the aquarium as well. And let's see what else we can set. You can see like when they adjust the brightness, and we can also set the water tint to any of these tones, or we can also like choose a custom one. We can also enter the hex code over here. So that is awesome. We have a list of recent colors that we've used. We can copy one. I mean, what more can we ask? And then we also have different settings like liquid tint, strength, fogging, dust modes, bubbles, mist, and glow. So playing around with those settings will be so awesome. Just look at how it changes the entire like ambiance of the aquarium. Then we see the shoals, we see shoals, we see the underwater tunnel. Again, we see some enrichment items, this time for the shark. This is an enrichment item, and I love that they have those enrichment items as well. And we see more foliage. Then here we see the African tigerfish shoal. And we also see something interesting about the management, that each shoal is going to be like an entity, and the shoal is going to have a specific appeal, and we're going to see the number of individuals in the shoal and the growth rate of the shoal, if it's growing, if it's shrinking, and how fast it's growing or shrinking, the welfare of the shoal as a whole, and the animal status. The shoals are managed as a unique or specific entity. So we're not going to handle the individuals themselves, we're going to handle the shoals. And about the shoals, they also mentioned that we can release shoals to the wildlife reserves. And that is something amazing. I was hoping for this, but I never really expected it to be in the Planet Zoo too. Like releasing the shoals of fish to the wildlife reserves is more than I could have hoped for. Like it is something that surprised me, amazed me, and I'm so happy that we have it. So we can have our little fish swimming also in the ecosystem that we've created with the other animals that we've released, terrestrial animals. Here we have the zebra, the wildebeest, like everything working in an ecosystem. And then we go from the wildlife reserve to the birds, and that will be the next feature focused on birds. That was our feature focus. I hope you liked this overview, this deep dive with zooming in on the details. I love going through all of this with you all, and I will be recording a video also reading a new article that the team shared on the official website. So stay tuned on that. It's very interesting, covering how they've actually developed the aquatic species and their decision-making process. Thank you again for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.